My name is Dr. John Hank, and I'm going to tell you, along with Dr. Jeff Stosh, a few of the things that might make your mission of mercy go more smoothly. We also want to thank you very much for your cooperation, your ability to come and volunteer, and to end up feeling the energy and the love that you're going to feel today from the many people that you treat.
When working at a mom project, in some ways you might consider these to be rather Spartan conditions. We are working with ADEC equipment. It is good equipment, but one of the things we really want to stress to you is to be flexible. You're not in your private practice. We don't have all the instrumentation that you may have available, but you can still do a world of good for a great number of people with the tools at your disposal. Some of the things that we do, we have very good reasons for doing them, some of which may seem a little silly when you hear it, but they're not if we explain it. First of all, we'd like you to always write with a blue pen, because we have to make photocopies of our medical record, and if you're writing in a black pen, we can't tell a medical record from a copy if it's all the same color. So please write with a blue pen. In your own private practice, you probably have personal abbreviations and slang and shorthand that you use in a chart. Please do not use any abbreviations, slang, or shorthand, because the person coding your chart isn't going to understand what you wrote. Please print, do not write, because all of us doctors scribble. We've had too much practice with our prescription pads. When you're filling out a chart, one of the only ways we have to get credit for what we do, and it's not an issue of getting credit, but foundations that want to give us or are considering giving us money say, how much good did you do? The only measure we have of that is the number of dollars that we produce. If you do not write down with enough detail what you did, we don't get credit for it. Fillings times 12 isn't a good answer. Number 12, MOD, is a good answer. So give us the surfaces, give us the tooth, write down what you did so that we can get credit for the work that we did.
One of the things that I want to talk about will be needle stick protocol, and then also we're going to talk about how to handle your sharps. The way you handle your sharps is you take them off of the syringe, take the blade off of the surgical handle, and use your sharps container, which will be near your operatory site, so that any instruments that go back to sterilization are clean, so that we don't have to deal with the needle stick back in sterilization. Now let's say something untoward does occur and you do stick yourself with a needle or a slight cut. You have between an hour and a half and 2 hours to get the proper medication taken if this person is a high-risk person. If it happens and you're with the person, the patient has to go with you also to completely satisfy the protocol.
If you're going to use your own instruments at the project, we ask that when you're completed with a procedure, you have your assistant take a sterilization bag, put your name and your operatory number on the bag, and take the bag and the instruments to sterilization. The people working in sterilization will keep your instruments together, and when they come out of sterilization, will deliver that bag back to your operatory. At the end of the day, on your last patient, we may have already shut sterilization down. If you're working the next day, come in the next morning, and 30 minutes after sterilization starts, you will have your instruments. If you're going home at the end of the day, take your dirty instruments, double bag them, and take them home with you to sterilize, rather than drop them off at sterilization and have to wait for them to come out. Typically, we can turn instruments in about 45 minutes, but we are handling an 80 operatory clinic, so please give us a little bit of working room to get your instruments back to you.
The other thing that I want to talk about is a way to communicate to the runners. What we have are 3 colors. The first color, red, means that I'm finished with my procedure and you can come and get the patient. After I've cleaned up, I raise the green card saying, I am ready, my station is ready. Then we have a yellow card meaning I've got a question, I need a little help with an air hose that just came loose, or I need the water bottle filled. And so this means I need a question answered. All these things will help your day go more smoothly, and I hope that you will have a good time. Thank you.
Working at one of these projects can be a very rewarding and uplifting experience to yourself, but you also are taxing yourself quite a bit to work starting early and working late and working without a break. With your patients coming to you already numb, there's not a lot of downtime. So please maintain a healthy outlook and a happy smile. If you get to the point where you need a break, please take a break. These patients have spent a lot of time in line. You have traveled a long ways to get here. Let's make it a positive experience for everybody. Take a break if you need it, but above all things, go with the flow and be flexible. We know we're doing the best we can with what we can. Be a part of that. And you would be amazed how many of these people can lift you up. So work with this patient, work for a hug, and make a friend, because it can truly touch you.